This podcast is sponsored by Feedback Frontier. Elevate your book's credibility with $50 editorial reviews and boost your traffic. Choose audio reviews for an added touch. Visit feedbackfrontier.com today.
Educational shifts from book assessments, what authors need to know. Discover how evolving educational shifts from traditional book assessments open new opportunities for authors to engage readers and educators alike. Educational shifts from book assessments, what authors need to know. Hey there. So I was thinking about how education is changing these days, especially when it comes to how students are assessed. You remember those classic book assessments, right? The kind where you had to read a chapter or a whole book and then answer a series of questions, write essays, or take quizzes based on it. Well, those types of evaluations are definitely evolving. And honestly, it's pretty fascinating for authors like us. Back in the day, book assessments were pretty straightforward. Students read a book, teachers grilled them on themes, characters, and plot, and boom, you got graded. These assessments were designed mainly to check comprehension and recall. But with the rise of digital media, personalized learning, and edtech, the way educators assess reading and understanding is shifting. One big trend is the move from traditional book assessments to more dynamic and interactive evaluations. Instead of your typical multiple choice or essay questions, students might now engage with multimedia projects, peer reviews, or create content that reflects their interpretation of the text. This means the focus is moving beyond did you memorize the story to how well can you apply and synthesize the ideas. Why does this matter to authors? Because these changes open up new ways to get your book into classrooms. Interactive assessments mean teachers might use your book as a part of project-based learning, or students might create content around it, like podcasts, videos, or creative responses. That's an awesome opportunity for exposure beyond the typical book club or reading list. Another shift: technology integration. With tablets, e-readers, and online platforms, students have access to annotations, embedded quizzes, and discussion forums linked directly to books. This brings a new layer of engagement that paper-based assessments simply don't offer. Feedback gets social. The classic one-on-one feedback from a teacher is being supplemented by peer reviews and even crowdsourced insights. Imagine your book being reviewed not just by a teacher, but by other students or even wider communities. Now, speaking of reviews and feedback, if you're an author looking to understand and take advantage of these educational shifts, it's more important than ever to get your work reviewed in the right places where educators and readers hang out. This is where platforms like Feedback Frontier come in handy. It's a trusted space where you can get book reviewed by real readers, educators, and influencers. This kind of nuanced feedback can help your book reach schools that are innovating their assessment methods, plus it boosts your credibility as an author. You might have heard terms like book review sites, free book reviews, or book review services, all great tools to consider as part of your outreach strategy. By submitting your work through effective book review submission channels, and even reaching out to book review blogs, you create a buzz and invite different kinds of engagement with your writing. Of course, the landscape is a bit more competitive now, which means timely and well-targeted reviews can make all the difference. That's why services that focus on genuine, constructive feedback like Feedback Frontier are so valuable. What does this mean for your next book? Think beyond traditional assessment. Picture your book as part of a bigger learning experience, interactive projects, multimedia discussions, social feedback loops. Leverage technology. Ensure your book's content can be accessed and interacted with digitally, which dovetails nicely with new educational tools. Get feedback from multiple sources. Don't rely solely on traditional reviews. Engage with book review sites and blogs that cater to your niche and have an educational bent. Use platforms like Feedback Frontier. They offer a modern way to connect with reviewers who can help position your book in the evolving market. Honestly, the educational world is transforming, and these shifts in book assessments are just one part of a bigger picture of how learning is becoming more interactive, personal, and tech-driven. As authors, understanding these trends means staying relevant and helping your books make an even bigger impact. If you haven't yet, I highly recommend checking out Feedback Frontier and exploring how you can get your book reviewed today. Getting authentic feedback that resonates with educators and readers alike might just be your next best move. Thanks for hanging out and thinking about these exciting educational shifts with me. Keep writing, keep connecting, and watch your books come alive in new and unexpected ways.